Here we are in the News Hub. We have reporters and editors in here from 6 a.m. till about midnight. And we come in the morning, try to write stories that from overnight, try to do what's on the morning news, but also add a lot more context to it and have more information. And we're also trying to interact with readers. People are sending us emails, calling, and sending us messages on Twitter all the time. A lot of readers out there have good ideas. Just like editors here bounce around ideas, readers can bounce ideas with us. It makes us more transparent. People get to see what we really do. And it makes us better reporters because we get to hear from more of them about what's going on. The cool thing about working in the News Hub and all the work that we're doing here at the paper is that we get to experiment. We have all of these journalistic skills and we have our ethics, and we're able to bring those to a new medium. We're able to say, hey, I have an iPhone and there's a way to get news on this. Let's try to figure out the best way to give people news that way. And let's figure out the best way for people to send us news from their phones.
2023 is 1023.
We're able to kind of take what we know and what we've brought and our values that we have and apply them to new technologies. And that's what's fun about doing this kind of work.
Journal Sentinel, this is Ben Poston.
More and more reporters here and elsewhere are acquiring skills. It's called computer-assisted reporting. That gives you the ability to analyze data and analyze it and visualize data for the reader, and that really drives stories. It allows you to dig deeper in your reporting. Instead of just finding one anecdote that's cute and easy to use, you can actually show what's happening in that universe that you're looking at.
Let me get your number and I'll see if...
Once you acquire those car skills, those computer-assisted reporting skills, you will have a leg up on the competition that the reporter, the student next to you won't have.
So investigative reporting, this paper has been dedicated to it for quite some time now, and it doesn't come out of an editor's office. It comes from tips from readers and from people working their beats. This particular Cashing In on Kids story about the Wisconsin Shares Program and the child subsidies and how parents and providers are scamming the system came out of a tip from a reader. A person called late one night and said they were really upset by the fact that a child had died, been left in a daycare van to die, and that child never should have been at the center that day, the caller said. And that tip landed in my email box, and it was something I knew very little about the Wisconsin Shares Program at that point. But sitting down with this tipster, I soon learned that this program, it's been around for 12 years and has been virtually unwatched for these 12 years. So if we're not doing it, I mean, what this story really showed to me is that without us, millions and millions of dollars are being spent that are not being overseen properly at all. And so without us, it would continue to go on for no telling how long. The most outrageous case was the case of Latasha Jackson. She's a child care provider who had been around for about 10 years. And she built a $1 million mansion with an indoor swimming pool, an indoor basketball court, drove a Jaguar convertible, all the while for 10 years had been scamming the system. And there were warning signs, red flag after red flag, that regulators ignored, really didn't do anything about. She had actually been convicted of fraud already one time when she was a mother seeking child care. And that got overlooked, and she was able to become a provider and keep milking the system. Yeah, the reaction from authorities has been interesting. They are only taking action really when they become aware that we're getting ready to publish a story. That's happened at least 4 or 5 times where I'm getting ready to publish. They know I've had to request information from them, so they're aware a couple days ahead of time at least, sometimes more, and that's when they suddenly take action. This last story, the Latasha Jackson story with that mansion and the car and all that, has really gotten people worked up, and now you're really starting to see legislators not only talk about it but actually do things. And regulators, actually a couple people have been relieved of their jobs. Well, at least one top administrator has been fired over it, and several of the subjects we've written about have been federally indicted. So you're starting to see more serious action. This is the most reaction that I've ever gotten as a journalist out of any story I've ever written. It's really hit a nerve with readers. We've gotten hundreds and hundreds of phone calls and emails from people saying how much they appreciate what the newspaper is doing. And I mean, it really shows, again, it exposes how without us that this fraud would continue, the waste would continue. It's critical that we're doing this.
been writing a Metro column for about the last 10 years, and you know the drill. It involves going out with a notebook and a pen and a photographer. But about 2 years ago, we started doing video with the column.
Save me, I'm with the media!
In fact, some columns are just video columns now, and sometimes we don't know what we're doing.
And right now, I don't think life can get any better. Well, I was apparently wrong.
And we're just sort of out there, sort of like this is a new toy almost.
Turning radius is amazing. This is like the tilt-a-whirl!
God knows the one thing we're trying not to do is recreate television. We're trying not to just create TV stories. We're trying to create something different. These video columns. My column has a sense of place.
Good dog, good dog, good horse.
It's very localized. It's very interactive with regular folks.
Anybody got a minute? It's your chance to be famous on the internet.
And the videos are the same way. We go out there. We talk to people in the street.
No!
We maybe get a wacky idea.
I'm guessing you're going to say we shouldn't be sledding on the snow mound at Mayfair. Or videotaping.
You know what I would really like? A media that did not take a Jerry Springerish attitude to local events.
Jerry.
And we go out and we do it, and then we put it up online and we see if anybody watches it. So we're excited about it.